Hi everyone, today I will be talking about constructor in Java. So what is a constructor in Java? A constructor is a special type of member function that is called automatically when an object is created. So how do we create a constructor and what are the rules for writing constructor? So constructor of a class must have the same name as the class name in which it resides. A constructor in Java cannot be abstract, final, static, or synchronized. Access modifiers can be used in constructor declaration to control its access. So I will demonstrate this with an example. Here I have opened Eclipse. In that I have created class A and class B. So in class A, I'm declaring a constructor. I'm giving it A because the name of my class is A. So over here, I have created a constructor of class A. I have given it the name same as the name of my class. As you can see, this is case sensitive. So let's say I'm writing A in lowercase, it will give me an error. So make sure to have the exact name as the name of the class you have given. So here I have created a no argument constructor. And I will write a statement. Okay. I will create another constructor with an argument of string. Okay, so I have created another constructor which has an argument of string. And I have given a statement saying that this is a string argument constructor. Next, I will create another constructor which will take two parameters, one int and another double. Okay. So I have created three constructors. The first constructor I have created it has no argument. The second constructor I have created with one argument of string. And the third constructor I have created, I have given it two arguments. The first one is of int type and the second one is of double type. Okay, so now we have created the constructor, but how do we call it? So from class B, first I have to create an object of class A. So over here, I'm creating an object of class A. Now, since I've created an object of class A, this will now call the constructor of my class A. It will call this constructor because I have given it no argument. Let's run and see. So it has given me this output saying this is a no argument constructor. So it has called this constructor because I have given it no argument in the parameter value. So let's say I want to call this constructor, then I would have to give it a value of string. So I'm creating an object again, but this time I'm passing it a string value. So this will call this constructor because I have given a string value. So over here I will give the word. This will print out hello. This is a string argument constructor because that is what we have given it over here. Okay, so now so this will print out. This will take me to the no argument constructor, which will print out this. Okay, and this object over here which I've created will take me to this constructor and it will print out hello, this is a string argument constructor. Okay, so I will run it. Okay, so as you can see, the output over here is same as these two statements that I've told you. Okay, now let's call this constructor. I'm creating another object, but this time I'm passing the values of int and double. So my first parameter is of int, and I can give it any value I like as an int. So I will give it 47, and my second parameter is of double type, so I can give it a value of double. So it could be 57.6. Okay, so now the object which I've created over here will call this constructor, and it will print out the values that I've given. Okay, so this will print out 4757.6. This is an int and double argument constructor. Okay, so this will call the no argument constructor. This will call the string argument constructor, and this will call the constructor which has int and double values in its parameter. Okay, so let's run and see. So here we go. It has called all the three constructors that we have created. Okay, now let's say I want to have a subclass of class A. So I want to create a subclass of this class, so which I will be doing right now. So over here I have created a subclass of this class over here. So basically this means that this is the parent class and this is the child class of A. Okay, in this I will create a constructor. Okay, now I hope you understood the concept which I've explained about these three. So I will just comment this out, because now I will be talking to you about the subclass which I've created over here. Okay, so in order for me to call the constructor which I've created over here, I will have to create an object of class C. So since I've created an object of class C, this will call this constructor over here. But since this is a subclass of class A, it will call this constructor which has no argument. So before calling this out, it will first print out this statement, and then it will go on with this. Okay, so I'll run and show it to you. Okay, so as you can see, it has called this constructor, and then it has called this constructor. This happens because Java automatically puts a super keyword in the subclass constructor. So this is what it does. It puts a super keyword and calls the parent class no argument constructor. So it calls the A class no argument constructor, which is this. So it's called this first, and then it goes on with the rest of the code that's in the constructor. Okay, so this is by default given by Java. Even if I'm not putting it over here, it's gonna be there by default. Okay, and but let's say you don't want to call this constructor. Okay, you want to call this constructor. So how do you do that? So you can do this manually, and you can pass in the value of string. Okay, so now instead of it calling it to this no argument constructor, it will now call to this constructor. Okay, so this will take me to this, and it will print out the statements in this constructor, and then it will print out this. as you can see, it gives us the output that I have told you. And one more thing about the constructor that I have not mentioned is that you can give it any access modifier that you want. So you can give the constructor as public, protected, default, or private. So you can make it public, or you can make it protected, or you can make it default, which I've just shown you right now, or you can make it private. Okay, but if I make this constructor as private, I won't be able to access it, and I'll get an error when I'm trying to access it. So let's say I create an object A, and this will call the no argument constructor. It will try to access the no argument constructor, but since we have made that constructor private, it will give me an error saying that it has no access to it because it's private. But as soon as I remove that, everything is fine. So be careful while using a private access modifier with a constructor. So that's it for the constructor in Java. I hope this helps you out. Thank you.